Hello, welcome to the Kogan Agora's secondary specification overview. The Kogan Agora is an Android tablet 10-inch size that comes in two variations, the 8GB and the 16GB version. The casing is made of aluminium. On the rear side is a 2 megapixel camera. This is comparatively smaller to the 5 megapixel on the iPad 2. The dimension size of the box that comes with it is by 28 by 23 by 7.5 centimeter. The weight is 0.545 kilograms. On the front side of the Kogan is a 9.7 inch touchscreen surface. There's also included a 0.3 megapixel camera. This is designed for webcam or other features that you want to use for yourself. There's also Bluetooth and obviously an inbuilt Wi-Fi adapter. The display is a resolution of 1024 times 768 resolution. This means that it's roughly 720p resolution. You can, however, output it to 1080p resolution using the mini HDMI port to connecting to HDMI. Of course, this is using the upscale feature. Now, if we look on the side, you'll find all the ports for the connectors. The top one is the 3.5mm audio support. This port is designed to put your own headset, or a stereo, or a headphone. The second one is the micro USB charging port. We use the USB to micro USB connector to plug this into the computer. The third one is the micro USB SD slot. This is to put your own micro SD port for storage or memory. The fourth one is the micro USB data. When you're connecting this, and in combination with the debug mode, you'll be able to connect to the computer into Android SDK. The next one is the mini HDMI support. This is used, as we mentioned before, to upscale to a higher resolution of 1080i or p to a television. The AC connector is the next one, which is used to connect to from AC to DC a power adapter. The last very bottom one is the power button. This is always to turn on and off the Kogan Agora. It's also worth mentioning there is no difference between the two micro USB ports. Both can be designed to be charging the Kogan tablet. However, you probably want to use the charging port only for charging. There are three buttons on the top of the Kogan top right. That is the volume up and volume down, and also the back button. Of course, the back button you'd rather use the one on the touchscreen. Now, when you turn on the Kogan, the first thing you will notice is the Android platform. In this case, it's the ice cream, which is 4.04. The first thing that you'll notice on the home screen is the ability to swipe left, right, and even in some cases, two lefts and two right. This is the blank screens that you're allowed to drag and drop widgets, or in some cases icons from your menu. One of the more common menus you'll be using is the status bar on the bottom. Now, the first button you'll be using is the back button. Similar to the analog button on the top right is this digital version on the touchscreen. Going back, we'll go to the previous menu that you need to select. The next one is the home button. The home button will go back to the home screen, allowing you to go from whatever the screen you were previously at to back to your home screen. The next one is your task scheduler. Task scheduler allows you to move left or right recently selected events. Now, if you select it, click on it, you'll go to that icon. If you move it left or right, you'll end that task, thus saving you up resources. The next one allows you to go to the system settings. On the far right, you'll find the time and also your task is done. It'll also allow you to have the shortcuts to the brightness and also the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Followed closely by that is a pictorial diagram of the power consumption that you have left. To access the Wi-Fi menu, there are three ways. One way is use the status bar. Another one is using the system information bar. The final way is if you created a widget that allows you to access the Bluetooth, wireless, and also your volume. To create a Bluetooth signal is quite simple. Simply press the Bluetooth button to turn it on. To access the Wi-Fi, initially you have to set up your own Wi-Fi account. You have to insert generally your paraphrase password, and obviously select the network you're trying to log into. Note, there are some advanced features you can use on the More button. These include LAN features, ad hoc, or create your own Wi-Fi hotspot. You can also access GSM features if you have GSM dongle. The Sound tab only has a few settings that you can change. This includes the volume, the selection of your ringtone, and whether or not you want the sounds for touching and also for the screen lock. On the Display tab, you can change the brightness of your Kogan display. This will reduce the power consumption that you use in the future. The other selections you can make are the selection of your wallpaper, and you can also change the font size of your texts. You can also select the time in which your display goes to sleep. The calibration of your G sensor should be done as soon as possible in case for your own sensitivity. On the Application or Apps tab, you can see all the applications you recently installed in the Downloaded tab. Of course, you can also check on the programs that are already installed on your SD card or your internal storage. You can also see the programs that are running on your Running tab. The following things you can do: you can choose to uninstall application or program, or you can stop an apps. The last menu we want to talk about is USB connectivity. Whenever you plug a micro USB to USB to a PC connection, or you're into debug mode, the USB connection setup will occur. Turn on the USB storage button and you'll activate the connection. And now let's go to the overview settings. Now, in terms of compatibility, the audio and video playback can play the most common files. This includes obviously MP3 and AVI files. But this is determined by the apps that you installed. If you insert some third-party apps, you can obviously play a vast array of files. The other issue is about expandable memory. The microSD port can contain up to a 32GB microSD. This can be used to expand your existing internal storage. The last topic we need to talk about is the power consumption overview. Now, on board the hardware inside the Kogan is a 1GB RAM module, or 1024 megabytes. It has a Wi-Fi adapter via 802.1.1 B, G or N protocol. The CPU is a 1GHz ARMv7 400MHz processor. This is used in most Apple products. There's also no thermometer or compass inside the Kogan. This means those apps won't work. The standby time, if you leave the brightness on a low and if you leave the program running on, is 1 day. The standby time, if you put the right settings, can be 1 week and 3.5 days. And that's all we can talk about the general overview settings. Check out the Kogan official website for more information and support manuals. Thank you.